Sure.
as of now.
So so yesterday as we discussed that XPath we'll be using when we think that there's no other way we have. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you see that some other elements, some other attributes which we have there and which is unique on that page for that web element, we'll go with that.
So in the case like when we didn't get the like elements unique ID or name, and in that case we have to use the XPath, right?
Right.
All right.
Sometime you will be seeing that kind of thing as well. That
Yes.
yesterday we
Yes.
saw that, right? For
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
text, there was no ID, there was no class, there was nothing there, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, it's good to go with the XPath.
Okay.
So XPath is just XML language. Okay. So what we do with forward slash, we start writing our XPath and go to, there is two things actually there. So one is relative and one is absolute path. So when we say relative path, we start from we use double forward slash and we start from that point only. But if you talk about the absolute path is just you have to start from the beginning. Okay, from the heading actually. So let's say, let me share my screen. All right, so absolute path start from the beginning. Let's say I want to get the locator for this one. Okay, so if I talk about this one, I know this element is coming after most of the elements, right? After many elements. So if I just go to this element, I need to go with the each and every element. Then I will be coming to this username. So I have to use all this from HTML, then head, then body, under body. I'll be getting this one and this one and this one, like this I have to go. Okay, so even if you see here, when I use my selector hub, which is a extension, if I just look for, let me select something here, let me select this one. Can you see here that the relative path is very small? You have to yeah, this is the CSS selector actually, but yeah, this is the X path. It's very simple. We use direct double forward slash here, input, because this is my input text. If I come here, if I see here, this is my input, right? So this is my input, right? So I will directly use double forward slash input and at the rate name, and I can give the name. What is the name here? State. So that's my relative path, which is very easy to write actually. Sometimes it will be very difficult, right, when we are using some table and all that. But whenever you see that we have to write lots of, if you see that this is the very small, I can capture, I can locate my web elements with a small line. You can go with that actually as well. So here what they did, even if they are not going with the XPath, you can directly go with the name as well. Name is there. But you have to make sure when you are using state as a name, there's no other state name, there's no other element is having same name. If we have duplicate, if other element is using same state as a name, then go with the XPath. So yesterday what we saw, we just enter the value in this text box, right? Input box. So now today we'll be dealing with this as well. So today we will not only deal with this actually, we'll be dealing with the frame. So let's say, let me give you, so where I was actually, I was here. So in relative path, it's very small because see, we start from that tag only, from that element only. But if you talk about the absolute, see absolute path, you start from the HTML, then if HTML, you will go into body, and under body you will be having div 2, then table, and table body you will go, and you have to go each and every element. So that we never recommend, we never ask anyone to use this absolute path. But let's say down the line, if someone has removed this table, you will be gone, you will not able to locate your element. So we should avoid using this absolute path. You should go with the ID, name, CSS selector, which is also easy. Input, you can use input, name, and state. Here you don't have to use the forward slash. Okay, this is my CSS selector. Okay, and if I go with the relative path, this is, I can use my relative path here. Okay, you can directly click on this, it will be copied, and you can use this. So this is very good tool actually. You should know that how to write this XPath manually as well. But if you're not sure how to write it, you can, in starting, you can take a help of this selector hub tool, and you can write your, you can get your relative path, CSS selector, name, or everything you can get from here, and you just copy and you can use it in your script. Okay, but it's good to know this thing manually as well, because see, in some company they will not allow you to use this. Okay, so you should know, or even if you write this same thing here, if you know that, you know, my relative path start with double forward slash, if you just copy and paste here, it will give you one of one result here, which is one. For this X path, we are having only one result, one element on this page, which is this one. Okay, so initially you can take the help of this, but later on try to do this manually as well. Let's say if I want to go with this one, this also takes, right? So I would case, I can say one thing, instead of this one, I can just go this one, and I can, let's say it's a Jeep, right? So I'll be coming here and I'll be just copying this one. Instead of this state, I can use my postal code. It's again one of one. So that way you can understand, like, you know, how it will work. Okay, how XPath is working here. All right, you have to just change the value. Okay, if it is ID here, you can give ID as well. Let's say there's some ID here, but here there's no ID, right? For me, if I have ID, I can pass my ID value here as well. Okay, so that's very easy, but you can use this one for now. All right, so now let's start working on our script. So what we're gonna do today, we'll be working with three things. So the first thing is handle the frame. So let's say if you are having this page, okay, this is my web page. Okay, in this web page, I have three frame. So one frame is this one on web page, and there's one more here. Okay, so let's say, yeah, I have three frame. If suppose my content is here on the third frame, this is my frame third. Okay, I can divide my page with different frame. I have my one button or link, I would say, click here, link here. Okay, and if you, even if you navigate on this page, let's say this page is my Walmart page. I'm just saying Walmart page. Okay, in this Walmart page, I have three frame. Frame one, let me write it here. Frame. I have another frame is frame two, and this is frame three. I have to click my requirement. Just I have to click on the frame. I have clicked on this click here link, which is on a frame third one. Okay, so even if you open this page, you will not able to click on this link directly until unless you are not going to that frame. So first, my requirement is just I have to go to that frame, and if I go to that, as soon as I will go to that frame third, I can click on that click here link. So this is what I can do. Okay, so let's understand with a script. Actually, let me write one program. So what I can do here, let me go to my program here. So I will be creating one more project. So what I'm going to do, and one more thing I will be doing here. So whatever the script will be writing, I'll be having all this script in my GitHub account. So you can also create your GitHub account, and I'll be sharing, or even if you are not having that GitHub account, I'll be sharing that code with you. Okay, so later on, if you want to try, you can just copy and paste from there, and you can run this same code on your machine. Okay, so I'll be having there actually. So what I can do, I'll be creating one more class here. Okay, so let's give a name as a frame. Okay. And all right, let's do it. What I can do here, because you already saw all this, right? So I'll be copying few things from here. Okay, so let me just come here. I'll be creating my main method here. Okay, my main method is here. Everything will be same here. Only here we'll be dealing with the frame. So what I can do, what I need from this script, I don't need this, because see, I'm not validating my title and all that, right? This is what I already saw. What I need, Jar I don't need because see, I already imported this jar. If I come here, if I go to my build path, and if you see here, my jar is already there. So I don't need this. It will work under this project if I create multiple classes actually. Okay. What I need here, I need this one. I need to tell that this class, or for this class actually, what browser I'll be gonna use. Okay. So I'll be copying this one. Okay. Till I'll be copying till here and here. Okay. This is what I want. I want my Chrome to invoke. I will give the path of my driver, and I'll be creating an object of WebDriver, which WebDriver is an interface. Okay. And I'll be creating, and under this Chrome driver, we have different methods. Okay. So let me just copy and paste it here. It will save our time. All right. This is done. Okay. So now one more thing here, I would say. So whatever method we use, like, we use get method, we use get text, all these, right, methods, that method is under my Chrome driver. Okay, because I have created this instance variable here, and through which we are accessing all the methods. This one is method. One more thing here, when you work on any project, always I would say maximize your browser. Okay, never work with like this. Okay, whenever as soon as your browser open, it should be maximized, because see, in this case here all the elements will be visible properly. Okay, so what we have to do for this? So for this one, what we can do, one thing here, we can come. So as soon as your browser is opening, so okay, here your browser will open. Here we don't want, right? So this is for navigating on any particular link, or I would say a URL, right, on application. My browser will open here, and then what I'm saying just go to this URL. Okay, so as soon as my browser is open, I can say driver dot manage dot window. There's one more here. See, so window is option. So I can say, if you can see here, this is my option. This is object. All this is object. Wait is my object. So I'll be clicking window. I can say here maximize. Maximize, it's belong to window. This is void. This will not return any value. Okay. So wherever we use void, let's say if I use void here, so this will not return any value. So this is there. So now as soon as my browser is open here, which is a Chrome, it will maximize, and then it will navigate to this URL. Okay. And then it will start navigating on this URL, and it will wait for 5 seconds. Okay. This time I can change, which we discussed last time. I can give unit as well. If I want hour, minute, day, that I can give here. Okay. All right. So till here we are good. So let me do one thing, because if there's no frame available on this URL, let me give you some different URL here where we have a frame. So what I can do here is, let me go to here. What I can do here is, let me HTTP, because we need to deal with the, so we'll be saying application could be anything actually. So the logic will be same. If you know that this is how we can handle the frame, you can handle that frame on every application. Any application, you can use the same logic there. Okay. So we will be saying Selenium. Appreciate it. But this is the okay, let's go ahead with this one. I want to see this. I will turn off this one. Let's go. See, so this is page, and in this page you have this one frame, second frame, third frame. So as soon as I will navigate on this page, I cannot click on this link. I have to come on this frame first, and then I can click on this link. So my requirement is just I have to come here first. So what should I do? So first of all, this is my URL. I'll copy this one because I have to navigate to this URL. Okay. So I'll be copying this one where here, because I have to navigate to this URL. My one work is done now, and I just waited for 5 seconds. Done. Now what to do here? So to deal with a frame, we use one method. So let's write it. So we'll say driver dot. So we have so many methods here which belong to Chrome driver. Okay, which belong to Chrome driver. So what are there? So we have equal, find elements. We have used some, right, so far. Okay, if you use get current, it will give you the current URL. This is the URL. If you want to fetch this URL, you can use this current URL. Okay, so now my requirement is just to go to that frame. So we'll say switch. Let me come here. We'll start writing switch. There's one method is here. This is a web driver. Okay, so here it says this is not an object. This is a web driver. Okay, so here if I come here, switch. We need to switch, right? We need to switch from one frame to another frame. Okay, so this is what I'll do. And then if I just write dot there, it will say frame. So there's a frame here. What it want actually, if I see frame, a different option we have. So it will say integer, WebDriver, target locator. Here if I come, it is also target. This for string, this is for integer, this is for web elements. Okay, so let's select web element. Done. Now we need to give some locator. We have to give something which is there on frame. So what is there actually? If I come here and if I just search for some, we have to search for something right here which tell us that this is the unique on each frame. So if I come here and if I search for frame, so this is the one frame. If I highlight this, all the frame are, see, it's all is selecting here. If I'm just coming here, all is selecting here. Okay, now I have to go to this one only. So let's try some other. This one is selecting. This one is selecting. This one is selecting. Now, if I come to this frame, this portion is selecting. So I can say this is for this frame, right? This code is for this frame. So what is there actually? Can I see here? So here I have name as well. Okay. So what I can do, I can use this name, but I need something, right, to write there to find some unique thing, right, to go to that frame. So I'll just copy this one frame. Okay, if I just want to come here, I have to find for this place as well. So let's say if I want to click on this one, I'll be looking for this name. If I come to this one, I have to look for this name. Okay, all right, if all is not there, then we'll look for some other, but this is the thing we will be checking, and every frame have a name. Okay, so let's say if I come here, I can give my double quotes actually. So let's put this in double quote. All right, so here it will be this one. Okay, so now my one work is done. Now I am here on this frame. Now I can easily click on this. If I try to click right away after this, will not. We'll try that as well. Okay, so I'm here now on a third frame. Now what I do? What I have to do? I have to just write a simple driver dot find. This is again a under web driver. Okay, web elements. So through which find element we can find a web element. So web element. Okay, we have to give the locator for what? This one or anyone, actually, whatever you want. Okay, so simply you can click on this, you can go to that button, and even if you are not sure about the correct XPath, you can click here and we'll be finding all this here. Okay, so what I can do here is I have one more locator here which is, this is linked, right? I know this is linked for me. So if I come here, this is linked. In list item, this is linked. So what I can do, let me come here. So what I can do here is I can say by dot. What is the option here we have? So we have option is a CSS selector. Okay. Then we have ID, link. So this is linked, right? This is what I saw, right? This is linked. So what I can do here is I can select a link text. Okay. So let's select link text here. Okay. So now link text is selected. Now what I have to give in this link text? So what is the link we have? This is the link. And if I come here, okay, if I click on this, it says this link has this text, right? So I can just copy it. Make sure, again, if you are having multiple link text, same link text on the page, do not go with this actually. Okay, go with some other. Okay, go with the class, or go with the class, or go with the some other, I mean, like element. You can say, you can also go with the this one as well. So title, and you can give this description there. So go with that. So here I can say this depreciated is a unique for me. I can copy this one, and I can copy this one. I can use here. Okay, this is another locator for you. Linked text. So CS selector, ID, name, XPath, absolute path, all this is selected for you. You have to use it wherever you think like, okay, yeah, this is the right way to use actually. Okay, so done. Now my work is done. I have to just click on this. That's it. Okay, so this is what I did. Now let's try. Do not go to that third one frame. Okay, I will just comment it. Okay, I will just, as soon as my page is open, I will just try to click on depreciated link. Let's try this without going to that frame, whether we are able to find that element or not. Okay, so I'll run this actually now. Okay, so Chrome driver is starting. Chrome browser is opening now. It's maximize. See, my browser is maximized now. It's taking time loading, and here we'll be finding the, but we want to see that we are able to click on this or not, because see the code which we have written, it's for clicking on this link, but I think so nothing is happening here. We are not able to click on this. Let's go to and check the, here we got the issue. What is the issue here? So issue is like, if you come here, you will see Chrome driver started fine. Okay, and then no such element available there. Because we didn't go to that third one frame, the third frame actually. First of all, to click on that link, we need to go to third frame. If I uncomment this, and if I try again, okay, now we are going to third one. Let's try this. We click on this, it's clicked. See, something is happening there, it opened. So to make sure, if you have your page and that page is divided in different frame, then you have to make sure that you are going to that frame first, and then you have to click on that. Okay, and how you can see that this is the frame? Because if you just right click here, you can see, if you search for frame, you'll see there are so many frames here. These are the frame set, you have. Okay, so sometime, we find this kind of problem actually. We keep trying, and then we come to know, okay, there are so many frames actually. Because of that frame, we are not able to navigate to that, and we are not able to click on that particular link. Okay, so make sure, yes, whenever you work or whenever you deal with frame, you have to go to that frame first, and then you have to click, or you have to perform the operation. Now you can do anything here. Okay, you are here on this frame. All right, so one is done. Let's try one more thing here. I'll be using my driver dot post. So as soon as my browser will be done with my all work, it will be closed. Okay, so this is there. Now, so one work is done here. Do not worry about the code. Actually, I will be having this code on my GitHub and I will be sharing this actually. So we can comment this now. We don't want right now. Okay, and we can also comment. Let me comment till here actually. So whenever you need, you can uncomment it and you can work on this. Okay. All right. Done. Now another thing is that let's say you're working with one application and there you have alert. So same is frame. You will not directly jump to that alert. You have to go to that alert first and click on OK, submit, whatever button is there, right? So here we use switch to switch the frame. There will be using some different thing actually. So let's try that. So what I'll gonna do, I'll just copy this one. Okay, my browser is maximize from here. I'll be just using this one. I can say this is for my, okay, this is my frame. Okay, so whenever you will be using this, you will know that the code we have written is for frame. Okay, and the below one we'll be using for alert. Okay, so how to deal with alert? So for this, let's go to one URL actually. So I'll be removing this because see here we are not getting alert. And I just want to, if I have to show you that, how we can deal with the alert, I need that alert right on my page. So let me close this one. All right. So here there's one URL actually. So I'll be just typing that HTTP and then this. And one. So here this is my one page. Okay. See, again, I'm telling you, even if you use this code anywhere, wherever you are dealing with the frame alert, you can use it. Same code will work there. You have to just only change the locator because see, definitely different page will have a different locator, right? That you have to change. Okay. So here in this page, if I click on this one, I'm getting this alert. Okay. So I will not able to go to this alert directly. Okay. So my requirement is just whenever I'm having this application, I have this go button there. If I click on this, I have this alert. I'll be clicking on this OK. So that's my requirement. So what I can do here is I will just copy this one. We'll try without that as well. So that we will be on same page, right? So this is there. I navigated to that URL. So now let's try to find driver dot find. We need locator. So this is web elements, right? Passing our locator here. So we'll say by dot. This time, let's see what we can do. Let me go to that. First of all, to that button. So how we can find this button actually. So I will just inspect it. I will just click on this arrow. I will go to go. Okay. If I come to my selector hub, so here I can use selector, CSS selector as well. This is also a locator. I can go with this one as well. What else we have here? Apart from this, we don't have anything here. We have value, which is there, but we'll not be having any value attributes there. We'll be having ID class. Okay. And this is not a link as well. So I cannot go with the link text. Okay. So what option I have? I have only just option to go with the XPath, which is easier. So what it is, so it's input, which is tag name is the input, which is here, // and the value what we have given here, the value is this one, go. So if I write my XPath here, I can say input, and I'll say @value, and then I say I will be copying this one. All right, let me just copy this. All right, this is what I have. And I'll be closing that actually. So let's see. It's 1 of 1. I found this element. There's no other variable we are having there, or there's no other web elements we are having there. Okay, which have a same X path, right? So now using this one I can do, right? So let's copy it. Okay, go to my script. I can say X path. I can give this. I can provide this X path here. Only just you have to click. So now my one work is done. I just click on that button. Okay. Now what I have to do? Go to that business. I click on this and go to this alert. What I need actually. So for this, what I can do here is I can say I can create an object. So I can say here driver dot. Again, I'll be using switch. Okay. Last time I used switch for frame. Here I'll be using switch. Then you see here we have alert as well. And then we have to give the target locator. Click on this. And then once it's done, I can say this is done actually. And also I can do one thing. I can go and I can click on OK as well. But before that, what I want actually, I want this text as well. I want this copy. What is written there actually? So let's say there's a requirement that we have to check this text as well on the alert. What I can do, I can click go text. I can find the text. If I come here on this get text, it's saying this is the string. Okay. So to hold this string, I need one variable, right? So what I can do, I can hold this. I need to store this, right? Somewhere. So I can say, I can create any variable here. So I can say alert message is done. Okay. So this is string. So I can say here string. I need to define it right here, right? So I can say alert string. I can say this is my link as of now. It's null. Okay. Currently it's null. Now done. All right, let me try. Why this issue is here now? Okay, so again the issue is like, here we have given is the non-static. We have to make it static because see, this is static. Okay, so to use this here, we have to make it static, or instead of this one, if I just have this one under my main, that's fine. Gone. It should gone. Okay, if I have this variable outside of this main method, I need to have that variable as a static, because we are having this, we are using this variable under main method, which is a static method. Okay, but that's fine. I can copy it. All right. So now one work is done. We got the text on that alert. Now what I want to click and I want to close that right alert as well. So what I can do, I can say driver dot switch to last one dot alert dot. Here we have option. What we can do, we can accept, we can dismiss, we can equal, gate. There's so many methods we have here actually. Or I would say there are so many operation I have here. I can do that. So I can say accept, because see there's a OK button, right? So we are accepting, right? So we can say accepting. Okay, done. And let's try to run it. Before running it, actually will be just printing the text, whatever text we have on this alert. So we'll just system.out.println, and then we will be saying this one. We'll just give that variable name here. Okay, let's run it. Now this frame will not work because we commented this actually. Okay. All right. Oh, because of this actually it's very fast. So let me do like this. Let's try, because the script was very fast actually, and it closed the browser as well, because we use driver.close here. Come here, open, close. Or I to just do it slow motion, so I can do one thing. I can come here and I will click on this, get the text. So I can say here driver.manage. What I can do here is I can just copy my distro actually. So let me just copy and paste here. So it's already there actually. So okay, let me do one thing here. So instead of this one, let me remove this one here. Right. What? So yesterday we discussed that there's one more weight we have actually. So that's hard coded. If I give, let's say here 5, it will give you error actually. Let me come here. Let me add my throw exception here. Okay. So if I've given 5 seconds here, even your application is open, it will wait for 5 seconds. If I had given 10 seconds here, even your application is open, it will still wait for 10 seconds. This is hard coded we did here. Okay, that's why we never use actually this. Okay, but for just give you example, we are using because we want to click on that alert and we want to hold that thing actually for some time, and then we'll get the text from there and we will click on accept. Okay, let's try this. Opening. Okay, it's again. Okay, it's click on this one and it's disappearing. Why? It should not disappear. So let me have click on this. We click on this and capture it. Make it I think it's in millisecond. We never use this actually in normal life. See, it's open. Now it will capture this text and click on OK and done. So if you come here as well, let me see, because see, it's taking in millisecond. So if you come here, what it's saying is it's taking, okay, let me go to that declaration. The value which you will give for this sleep, it will be in millisecond. Okay, so that's why when we were giving a 5, it was not working properly. It was doing everything very quick actually. So for this, but we never recommend this actually when they are really working on any framework. Okay, so let's say even I have given the 10 second, 10 second, 10 second for so many times. If your script is completing in just half an hour, it will take 1 hour actually, because see, it will keep adding the time. It will still wait if everything is done. Okay, so for your example, I was just showing you here that this is how you can use it. Okay. So that's done, right? If you will not go to this one on alert, you will not able to click on that. Okay, so make sure first of all you go to that alert using a switch. Okay, and then alert, and then you will click on accept, and this is how you will go there and you can get the text. So let's say there's some successful messages there. Okay, successful login or something, you can capture it and you can compare with the expected. Okay, if both is correct, you are passed with that cases. All right, so one is done. So I'll comment this one as well. Now we'll come to your question, Jayesh. We'll just look into that drop down. All right, so let me come here. So let me go to that page so it will go right. What was that page? That was page. Okay, let me go to that. Just a minute. I will just go to my previous script. I'll be just copying the URL. Okay, because I want this URL. So I will be coming here. I will be entering this one. Okay. And now this is what we have, and then we have to go to register. Okay, and here we have this drop down. Okay, so now this is, you know how to do it, right? Now we have to just go with this one. So what I can do here is I can say I'll use one thing. So let me just copy this one. I'll copy this URL and I will navigate to that URL only. Okay, it's up to you. See, even if you want to click, if you are on home page, you can click on this one, register, and you can come here. Okay, but directly I'm using this URL so that we'll directly land on this page. Okay. So here, what I can do here is I will be. So this is what we have. So all right. So here we'll be using a drop down. Okay. The code will be for drop down. This is the URL. Okay. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be just copying this one get URL because we need to navigate, right? So we'll be using this one. Okay. I'll just copy this one. Okay. Even if I use any framework, syntax, everything will be same. Okay. If you know this, you can automate easily. We'll do some enhancement is there, but logic will be same. Okay. So now we are navigating to this register. So now my what work is there? What I can do here is there's one class actually. So that class, let's say, Albany here. I'll just go here. Okay, so here let's say what are the value here? We have different values actually, right, inside it. So if I know that there's a value there, okay, so I can select it right from here. So what I can do here is I will say I will just capture this. I'll come to my selector hub, and this is my XPath for this. Okay, you can use name as well, so that's not a problem for this. All right, so I'll just copy this one. I'll be using this XPath, my XPath for this. So what I can do here is I can say select, and I can give any name here. So I can say S1. Okay, so S1, and then I can say new select, and I'm passing some value here. So let's see what is this actually. So it's saying that you have one class inside a Selenium jar file, but you need to import it actually. So I will be importing that here. So the first one is not that class CQ. This is what we'll be importing. Done. Let's say come here. What is there? We need to pass some argument here. Okay, that's why we are getting this error. Okay, so what I can do here is I need to give some argument. So what argument I can give? I can give this one, right? So to give this one, I'll be using my driver dot find. So we need to find, right? So driver dot find. Okay, this one. Then I'll be saying by. Okay, because that's the drop down. That's why we are using select class here. Okay, how we can find this? With XPath. Then what XPath? With XPath, we can copy this one. All right, and this is my work is done. So I can remove this actually, right? For my reference, actually, I just copied it here. All right. So now, simple. I navigated to this URL where I have a drop down. I created object for select. Select we use for drop down. Okay, and this is the locator because it was asking for the argument. So this is the argument which we have given here. All right, so this is done. Now if I come here, if I say S1, now to access the element, we need use that object, right? So we can say S1 dot. We will be getting all the option related to that drop down. Deselect, deselect all, deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible, equal, get all selected. All this is my different, I would say, methods. Okay, so these are my different methods actually through which I can perform the operation on my drop down. All right, so what I can do here is I can select I can say select. Now if I say select, what is the option here? I can select any value from by index, by value, okay, by visible text. Okay, so let's select visible text. Okay, so if I select, you can choose anyone. Okay, if you talk about the index, right? So what is index? So the first one will be on 0, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, my index. I can go with that as well. So that's your choice, how you want to select it. Let's say select visible text. So what is the visible text? Let's say I want to select something, this value. I can come here and if I navigate on, see, I just want copy to that value actually. So let me come here. It's hang actually. Okay, not working. Okay, so what value is Angola? So Angola is here. Okay, so this is visible text for me, right? I can copy this one. Okay, if I want to select this one, and I can say Angola. Okay, and once it's done, that's it. So let's try this. Let's try to run it now. Page will open. Okay. Okay, it's there actually. That's why we are not able to see. Enroll I selected. Let me just try again. So if I run again, and one more thing here I can do S1 dot. If I want to go with the select with index. Let's say I want to select with index. If I say 1 index, let's try with 1. So whatever the value we have on the 1th position, that will be selected. So let's try this. It's very fast actually, so that's why it's, let's see this value is the first, 0, first, second, third, this is selected. That, so this is how you can select the value from drop down. You can give, even if you want to go with the all the items, okay, you want to make sure that you know whatever the items is there which are expected there or not. Actually, you can use your for loop. You can give here I, and you can iterate it. We'll look into that. That's not a problem actually. As of now, we are selecting whatever we want to select actually. Okay, that's why we have given. You can go with the visible text, or if I want to go, I can go with my index as well. If I want to go with some other, like, you know, there's so many options we have here. Suppose you have you want to deselect all, you can deselect all. So this is how you can deal with the drop down. Okay, all right, so these 3 things we just saw, I think. Yep. So here, if you, right, so now you are good with everything here. You have in text box, you have drop down. So make sure I'll be sharing this code with you. You have to enter everything in this. You have to select the drop down and you have to click on submit. You know submit how to do, right? You know the click, how we can get the, how we can capture this, how we can find the locator for this submit button, and we have to click .click. We have to use method, and then it will be done. So that you have to do. So that will be kind of, you know, assignment for you. So because see, before validation anything, before validating anything, we need to know how to deal with the form, actually form controls. If you don't know how to deal with the form control, there's no, I mean, how do you do the validation, right? Now, as soon as you'll click on this, if suppose this record is already there, you'll be getting some message here. If that message is there, that means you can capture that message and you can validate that message with expected. So that you have to think like, how to, I mean, see what kind of scenario is coming and how to automate that actually. So whatever we'll be learning in a pieces. Okay. And in the end, we have to merge all. We have to use all our concept for that. And we have to do the automation. Right? So you have to use your logic here. Just do it. Okay. And there's so many actually, let's say if you start navigating here, let's say if I come here, I say driver dot get URL. You can use this one. You can get the URL, current URL of this. So let's say if I say system.out.println, but we need to try actually. So here, instead of this one, I can directly copy and paste and I can put it here. This is basically you will be using after you navigated any URL actually. Here we didn't navigate to any URL, right? As soon as you navigate to any URL, you can put it here. It will tell you what URL you navigated. Okay. So this is what you can use. Apart from this, we just saw that how we can maximize our window. So using this one, we can maximize our window. Make sure whenever you are navigating to any website, you maximize your window. Okay. We get the URL, we can give implicit weight. We never give the hard-coded value there, right? We just use thread sleep. It's just for telling you that we have this one, but it's not good to use actually. Okay, it will increase your execution time, and we are not here to increase our execution time, right? Why we want automation? We want to finish everything with our automation and in quick way, right? So we never use this actually. Okay, so this is what there. Also, we can use one more thing here. So let's say if you are here, let me uncomment this one for one more time. So let's say you are here, you select some value by index, and if you say, all right, so this is what we do actually. We select, all right, so let's say one thing here, this XPath is just for the drop down. Okay, so what I can do here is, let's say I want to make sure that how many items are there, right? So what I can do, I can use one and create one web elements. Okay, web element, and in this web element I can give any name actually, drop down. Okay, and here what it's saying we need to import. So for everything, okay, we need to import the class, otherwise it will not work for you. Okay, now here what we did, we were holding that data, where is that actually? Here. So to hold this string, we created a variable which is a string, but to hold a web elements, so drop down is a web element, right? Not a text. So this is my element. It's not a text. Text is this one. This is my text. This is my element, web elements. So to hold this, you need web element. It will not hold by the string or integer or any other variable type. Okay. So what we'll be doing, we'll be saying driver dot find element, and then we'll be saying by dot. If you go with the XPath, go with the XPath, no problem. We can just copy from here. This is for my drop down. I'll just copy this, just put it here. I'll say, so now I'm holding my drop down, where storing it's in web element. Okay. Now if I come here, if I say, let me just copy it. If I say drop down dot, see there will be some methods will be available here. So if I come here, if I say is, if your drop down is enabled, selected, it display, you can choose from here. Okay. If sometime you will see that your drop down here on this is disable. It's like here, okay, it's enable actually, because sometime, it happens like, as soon as we fill all the details, then it will be enable. So let's say this is enable or disable. You can check it right from here. Okay? You can give this condition like, you can say if copy is enable. If it is enable, you can give the condition. It will it for you. You can give system.out.println. Okay, and say I'm just writing like this only, enable. Okay, if it is not, it will say else. Out.println, disable. This condition, disable, enable, disable. We can check all this. This is how we can put the validation, right? And this is what, when we get any project, when we work on any project on manual, we also get all this. We came across all these things, right? So this is how you can check. All right. So yeah, that's it for today. I think we have covered frame, we have covered alert, we have covered how to deal with the drop down, and how we can select the value from drop down, and if it is disable, enable, display. If something is not display, we can also do the condition that this thing is not display. Okay, so that is also validation. So this validation we can use for testing, right? Okay, so yeah, this is all we have for today. Let me know if you have any question in this actually.
Thank you, Bharat.
Yeah, any question you can ask me. Yeah, I'll be uploading this. I'll upload this. That's not a problem for me. But if you will use only just copy and paste, it will not work for you. You need to practice, it will work. If you just copy and paste, you'll learn only that thing only.
Okay. Actually, I have one question.
Yes.
So like for now we written this all code in the main, right? So like if I want to like follow the principle with the like multiple inheritance or abstract, like how can I go through that?
See, that will come. I mean, see, it's not like everywhere you will be using your inheritance and multiple inheritance.
Like I mean, like I want to use the OOPS concept. So like what will be the like best way to like write the code?
See, for that actually, okay, inheritance will come into picture. Let's say this is my main script. Okay. I don't want my script everything to write here actually, right? I don't want everything to write here. I want all this thing. What I can do from drop down, I can create one method. I can put it in some different class. Yeah, I can create my alert method. I can create it in different class. So here the code will be very clean, right? I can write only just 4 lines and my work is done, because what I'm doing here is I'm just calling that method, whatever I'm having in this class. So at that time, your inheritance will come into picture.
Okay, so like I want to like not every time I want to write the like
see yes, because see, at the end what you want, that will come into enhancement actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say what I'm doing here is I'm writing everything in this actually. If someone will get my code and read this code, it's so bulky, right? There's so many things here. I don't want my code like this actually. Here I'm just explaining you how it works. Then I'll be copy and pasting this in different class, and I'll be just I'll just calling that function here or method here. So like, and that will be very readable actually.
Okay, so like I can extend the class and I can like perform.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.